Once upon a time, in a sparkling kingdom filled with sunshine and singing birds, there lived a bright and kind-hearted young girl named Princess Aurora. She had hair the color of honey, eyes blue like a summer sky, and a laugh that made even the grumpiest guards smile. Aurora loved adventures more than fancy gowns, and she spent her days exploring meadows, talking to animals, and reading books about faraway places. But the kingdom was not always full of joy. On the edge of the land, hidden deep in a dark and twisting forest, stood a towering, forgotten castle. The villagers whispered that a terrible beast lived there, huge claws, roaring voice, sharp fangs, and no heart at all. No one dared go near it. What they didn't know was that inside the castle, watching the stars alone every night, lived a once handsome prince who had been cursed long ago. The curse transformed him into the fearsome beast, and only true love for what lies beneath appearances, could break it. But the beast no longer believed anyone could love someone who looked like him. One sunny morning, Aurora's father, King Rowan, was preparing for a journey to a nearby kingdom. He packed his horse, kissed Aurora's forehead, and promised to return with a glittering red rose, her favorite. Aurora waved happily. "Take care, Papa, and don't forget to smell the flowers before you pick one." King Rowan laughed and rode into the distance. But as night fell, his carriage wheel broke near the edge of the dark forest. He wandered, searching for help, until he stumbled upon the hidden castle, its gates tall as mountains, its windows glowing with eerie light. He nervously entered, calling out, "Hello, is anyone there?" On a table inside the grand hallway sat the most perfect, dew-covered rose he had ever seen. Remembering his promise, he gently plucked it. Suddenly, roar! From the shadows burst the beast, towering and thunderous, with glowing yellow eyes. "You dare steal from me?" he growled. "You must pay with your freedom." Terrified, King Rowan fell to his knees, begging, "Please, I only wanted to give this rose to my daughter." The beast paused. "A daughter?" he sighed, his anger turning to loneliness. "Then she may come," he said in a deep voice, "and take your place." And before King Rowan could argue, the beast locked him away in a cold stone tower. Back at the palace, Aurora paced anxiously. Where was her father? Why hadn't he returned? At sunrise, the king's horse galloped home, without King Rowan. Aurora climbed onto the horse's back. "Take me to him," she commanded. The horse raced through the forest, finally stopping before the frightening castle. Aurora took a deep breath and stepped inside. "Father?" she called, her voice echoed through empty halls. In the tower, King Rowan shouted her name, and Aurora rushed to him. "Oh, Papa," she cried, hugging him tightly, "I'm here now, I'll protect you." The beast appeared behind her. "So, you are the daughter." Aurora turned, her heart pounding, but she stood tall. "I'll stay, let my father go." King Rowan shook his head. "No, Aurora." The beast roared, "It is done." With a wave of his claw, the king vanished home in a soft cloud of sparkling magic. Aurora looked up at the beast, scared but strong. "I have kept my promise, I hope you will keep yours." The beast stared at her, surprised. No one had ever looked at him with such bravery. The castle was not empty, not at all. Candles flickered to life by themselves, chairs rolled out to greet her, a tea set danced across a table. Aurora laughed with pure delight as the objects bowed and introduced themselves. Lumi, the glowing candelabra. Tick-tock, the old but cheerful clock. Bella, the teapot with a giggle like bubbles. And dozens of enchanted helpers. They treated Aurora like a beloved friend from the moment she arrived. Yet the beast watched her from afar, unsure. Every time he tried to speak kindly, his voice came out like a growl, and Aurora flinched. It made him feel even more monstrous. Days passed. The beast tried to make Aurora comfortable. He showed her the huge shimmering library, bigger than anything she could imagine. Aurora's face filled with wonder. "I can read any book. Even the big ones," the beast mumbled shyly. Aurora smiled. "Thank you." They spent afternoons reading tales of pirates and dragons. Sometimes the beast would make a joke, which surprised them both, and Aurora would giggle until her cheeks turned pink. At dinner, the beast struggled with manners. Spaghetti sometimes flung onto the walls, and the chairs wobbled nervously, but Aurora saw how hard he tried. Little by little, the fear melted away. One evening, they walked in the snowy garden. The beast made a path for her, brushing snow from branches. Aurora saw kindness in his eyes. "You're not as scary as you pretend to be," she said softly. His heart, something he thought was gone, gave a tiny flutter. Soon came the grandest night of all. The enchanted objects twirled excitedly, dressing Aurora in a sparkling golden gown. Lumi led the beast into the ballroom, where chandeliers glimmered like stars. As music filled the air, Aurora held out her hand. "Shall we?" The beast's paws trembled, but she smiled, and courage grew in him. They began to dance, slowly at first, then spinning gracefully through swirling lights. The beast felt happy, Aurora felt safe. For a moment, it seemed like the curse might break. Though the days were magical, Aurora missed her father deeply. She wished she could tell him she was safe, that the beast wasn't a monster after all. The beast noticed her sadness and gave her a magic mirror. "It will show you anyone you wish to see," he said. Aurora held it close. "I want to see my father." The mirror shimmered and showed King Rowan, sick with worry, calling her name. Aurora gasped, "He needs me." The beast's heart cracked. He knew what he had to do. "You may go to him," he whispered. "You are free." Aurora's eyes widened. "Free, truly?" The beast nodded, but his voice shook. "Will you ever come back?" Aurora hugged him gently. "I promise." Then she hurried away, the mirror and rose tucked to her heart. But the village had changed while she was gone. A boastful hunter named Rufus, strong but cruel, wanted to marry Aurora. When she refused, he grew jealous and angry. Seeing the mirror in her hand, Rufus demanded, "What are you hiding?" Aurora held up the mirror. The beast's image appeared, lonely in the dark castle. The villagers panicked. "A monster! We must protect Aurora." "No," she cried, "he is kind." But Rufus didn't listen. He gathered the villagers and marched toward the castle with torches, determined to destroy the beast. Aurora grabbed a horse and raced after them, her heart pounding. A thunderstorm raged as Rufus attacked the castle. The beast refused to fight, believing Aurora would never return. He stood silent and heartbroken, letting Rufus push him toward a high balcony edge. But then, "Aurora!" Lumi shouted as she burst through the gates. "She's back!" The beast's eyes lit with hope. Aurora ran up the staircase shouting, "Stop, Rufus!" Too late, Rufus struck the beast, who tumbled dangerously close to the edge. With a burst of strength, the beast pushed Rufus back. Rufus slipped, yelling as he fell into the stormy darkness. He would trouble the kingdom no more. The beast collapsed, wounded. Aurora rushed to him, tears streaming. "I'm here, don't leave me." He weakly touched her cheek. "You came back. You're not a monster," Aurora whispered. "You're my friend." "No," he sighed, "I am just a beast." Aurora shook her head. "Not to me." She leaned down and kissed him gently. Suddenly, whoosh! Golden light swirled around them. The beast's claws shimmered, shrinking. His fur melted into skin. His snout softened into a handsome face. The storm quieted, stars bursting through the clouds. Aurora gasped, covering her heart. Before her stood a prince, tall and kind-eyed. "Aurora," he said, voice warm and hopeful, "you broke the curse." The enchanted object spun joyfully, becoming human again, Lumi with his glowing grin, Tick-Tock straightening his glasses, Bella wiping happy tears. The castle brightened, its dark stone transforming into radiant towers. Flowers bloomed, fountains sparkled, and sunshine poured into every window. The prince took Aurora's hands. "You saw goodness in me when no one else would. Will you stay with me?" Aurora smiled. "There's nothing I'd love more." Aurora and the once beast returned to her kingdom, where King Rowan embraced them both. The village celebrated with music, dancing, and a feast that lasted 3 days. Aurora and the prince ruled side by side, making both kingdoms happier than ever before. They encouraged everyone to look beyond appearances, to be brave, kind, and true of heart. As for the castle, it became a place filled with laughter, colorful gardens, and magical celebrations where all were welcome. And every night, Aurora would tend to a beautiful blooming red rose in the garden, a reminder that love transforms even the darkest of curses. And they lived happily ever after.